We all hated it, but we knew it was for our own benefit. The real question is, should it be required or an elective? Is physical education really necessary for future success? And how can it improve the attitudes of the students regarding the students' mental health? There are numerous studies and journal articles regarding the benefits of PE, physical education. You just need to look past your whining children in order to read them. There is much controversy regarding the requirement of PE in the education system. Some argue that with so many sports, children and teens are already engaged in physical activities of their choosing, so why force them to participate in this requirement? The reality is, not as many school-age children are engaged in sports or physical activities outside of school, for many reasons, but most often because families can't afford them. There's exuberant costs, not only in money, but time. So why are we requiring parents to enroll their children in these extracurricular activities when they have PE during school? Another common reason parents and youth give against mandatory PE is it's embarrassing to participate. Children tease each other for not having the ability to succeed or even what they're wearing in PE classes. In some cases, some children and youth choose not to change for PE, and so they get picked on for that. Youth can be very disrespectful to their peers. But is this really a reason to not require PE? In an article, How Cutting Physical Education in Schools Could Hurt Grades by Alexandra Sefferlin, she states, quote, a small study of 48 students between the ages of 9 and 10 showed that those with higher levels of physical fitness performed better on mental tests. She continues, students in the top 30% of their age group for aerobic fitness were better able to learn and recall the fictional names and locations given to them than those in the lowest 30% of aerobic fitness. End quote. She continues stating, quote, aerobic fitness influences children's neurological processes in potentially significant ways. Previous research among elderly people suggests that improved blood flow can keep neurons healthy and effective, which maintain neural networks and improve cognitive functions. Thus, it is reasonable to conclude that physical activity benefits concentration and learning during the school day. In a second article, The Pros and Cons of Mandatory Gym Class in Public Schools by Grace Chen, she makes this statement in favor of removing PE from schools. Quote, researchers found that the average high school gym class only keeps students physically active for an average of 16 minutes in a class period that is 45 minutes long. That isn't at all a long active time. End quote. In the same article, she also makes this observation in favor of PE in the education system. Well, physical education classes help children develop fine and gross motor skills, learn cooperation and teamwork, reduces stress, and improves self-confidence and self-esteem. Furthermore, supporters argue that public schools have a responsibility to encourage children to enjoy a healthy and active lifestyle, especially with a rising number of young Americans that are obese. End quote. So why then is this even up for debate? Isn't our children's health what's most important? As we age, we begin to lose some of our physical and mental abilities. Have you ever noticed that an older person who was very active in their youth seems to be more active the older they get, and much more engaged than a person who was never really physically active as a youth? Physical activity does not just engage our physical abilities, but also influences our mental abilities. Removing PE from schools will not increase your child's ability to learn, but it may inhibit it, and the lasting results could be devastating. There is a movement taking shape across America called PHIT, P-H-I-T, America. This movement was launched in 2013 with the support of over 100 companies nationwide in an effort to educate and encourage children, schools, and families to participate actively in their personal health. PHIT stands for Personal Health Investment Today. Their website, www.phitAmerica.org, includes the following statement from the CDC, the Center for Disease and Control. Quote, regular physical activity is one of the most important things you can do for your health, end quote. It is noted that regular physical activity helps promote control, mental health, and mood, improves the ability to complete daily activities, promotes strong bones and muscles, as well as reducing many common health risks, such as stroke, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. One of the biggest things that they tell diabetes patients is to increase their activity and reduce their sedentary lifestyle. When you consider the many advantages of physical activity, why wouldn't you want your children participating in PE, even for a short time of the day? Now, to come back to that first question that we asked, is physical education really necessary for future success, and how can it improve the attitudes of students' mental health? Consider all the points. It encourages longer life. It gets your blood flowing, which helps your brain engage. You allow children to work off some of that excess energy. And even if they're teenagers, and they don't want it and they want to be disgruntled about it, so what? Make them do it anyway. It's good for their brain function. It's good for their body. It also encourages them to learn healthy things now, when they're most able to maintain and accept new routines. Encouraging children now is what we need to do. It is our duty as parents. So I ask you, should PE be a requirement or an elective?